narcotics. The Dutch people, when they got rid of the Spaniards who were ruling over them in the 16th century, and when they got rid of the Spanish dominance and the Spanish masters, they were so overjoyed about this liberty that they adopted this so-called policy. We can call it policy, or maybe it's just an attitude in life, which is called gedogen. Gedogen means that something is maybe, it means that it's an adjective. It means that something is maybe not very good or worth of praise, but it's acceptable. So acceptable things are much more numerous than among other nations. And narcotics, when people are adults, when the citizen is an adult, it's responsible of its own actions. So if he wants to kill himself with drugs or to ruin his own biological system, it's his call. So gedogen is this approach that because the Dutch were really the people who have invented in the 16th century and first and foremost in the 17th century the the modern society, the modern liberal society we know today. They also invented the model of the house, of the bourgeois house, which was and the bourgeois style in living, typical for, and they have invented it and tried it on big scale, which was very untypical in those days. So they have invented liberal society, we can say. So no wonder that they apply this policy of gedogen to many things that they can live with. They could live with. The same. The Dutch have many interesting words. Words about that they are relating to the Dutch society. For instance, very interesting word is gezellig. Gezelligheid is something that is being very social, and I mean to be to have something that has to do with having joy, with talking to other people, to exchange opinions and so on. This joy of being in the group and discussing, it's called gezelligheid. Okay, when it comes to neutral things, the LGBT movement was mentioned, and it's true. The Dutch were to a very huge extent pioneers in the LGBT movement already in the 1950s, so 20 years before the Stonewall action in the United States. 20 years earlier, in the 1950s, already very a significant number of Dutch celebrities, like the singer Wim Sonneveld, were declaring publicly that they were gay, for instance, and that's why the Dutch people have elaborated this theme and got used to this problem, or maybe not problem, get used to this phenomenon and accepting it according to the gedogen. Also, they've elaborated it, they went through all that much earlier. Euthanasia, it's of course the same. If you are a responsible human being, that you can always also kill yourself with the medical assistance. I just stressed that in the Netherlands it's very complicated procedure to get euthanized or euthanize some relatives, or how to put it. I don't know how to put it. I'm not an expert about it. I just know that in Belgium it's much more simple procedure, and that's why in Belgium there were cases in which this procedure of euthanasia was clearly abused. In the Netherlands it's happened also, but much more rarely. Red light district. Red light district. The district with brothels and so on and so on. And this is typical. This is the most famous is of course in Amsterdam, but it is a maritime culture. Many mariners, many wives in every harbor. So it's of course when you have a nation that lives from the sea, then it's almost obvious that it must be some district of that sort. Flying Dutchman. Flying Dutchman is a demon ship, or ship operated by demons, or a ship that can appear in every moment. This comes from history. In